This is a stimulus update and daily news report. Looks like Joe Manchin is trying to clear the air again with a new interview responding to Cori Bush's anti-black accusations, with Joe Manchin saying she doesn't know me, as well as Joe Manchin talking about other parts of the bill, especially paid family leave just added back into the bill. His response to that, as well as some other things. I'll play you that video clip. We'll go over this article right here. Check it out. For stimulus check news, 5 ways you could still get relief money and how to apply. Also, stimulus check update, residents of this state should watch for deposits this week, and I'll give you some other updates as well. Hope you're having a terrific Thursday. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below. Let's start with the stimulus check news. So stimulus check update, residents of this state should watch for deposits this week. So this week, the state of California recently issued 1.15 million additional Golden State stimulus payments to eligible residents. Approximately 2 out of every 3 California residents have already received these stimulus funds or will be receiving them in the future, and eligible residents who file 2020 taxes should receive their stimulus checks in the same format they received their tax refunds. So looks like those are going out this week. Also, this article, check it out, for stimulus check news, 5 ways you could still get relief money and how to apply. So the 5 different ways it's talking about is, first, the child tax credit, giving $300 or $250 per month. Basically, if you haven't gotten that, you would have to submit the non-filers tool on the IRS website. Then the other one, the broadband services, looks like that's still available. The Federal Communications Commission, that's the emergency broadband that's going to give $50 off per month for up to 6 months, I guess, and then $100 off a new computer or laptop. So I didn't realize that that was still going on. And then also, it's saying here that there is rental assistance, which is kind of shady. Actually, some rental assistance programs are still open, but the money hasn't been going out. Also, what it's saying here is a grant program will provide farm and food workers with $600 one-time payments that will come from state agencies, nonprofits, and in some cases, tribal governments. So those are the different ways for stimulus. Next, let's talk about Joe Manchin. So Joe Manchin pushes back against Cori Bush anti-black accusations, saying she doesn't know me, as well as a lot of other things in this Fox News interview, talking about where he stands, what's going to happen moving forward, the paid family leave that was just added back in. Don't want to miss this. Check out Joe Manchin right here.
I hope it's a wake-up call for all of us. We need to do our job.
What do Democrats take it from it, do you think? What should they take from it?
Well, I would think that, let's say on the legislation we're about to start negotiating on, which is the reconciliation bill, there's no excuse why the infrastructure bill hasn't passed long ago, 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago. It would have been great for our country. It's still great for our country. And I'm hoping we get bipartisan support. It's a bipartisan bill. But the reconciliation bill, I think what it says is, kind of slow down, take a breath. Let's look at this. We're talking about major tax overhaul, reform. We're talking about changing our energy policies. We're talking about a whole social rearrangement. We're talking about $29 trillion of debt. We better get our hands around it and be responsible. And I've always said, if you can't get your financial house in order, it's hard to do anything.
President Biden was asked today about what he thought the issue was in Virginia. Take a listen to this answer.
And do you think that Terry McAuliffe would have won if your agenda had passed before Election Day?
Well, I think it should have passed before Election Day, but I'm not sure that I would be able to have changed the number of very conservative folks who turned out in the red districts who were Trump voters, but maybe.
You think if infrastructure had passed before Election Day, would it
should have passed just on its own merits. It's a piece of bill that we've worked about months ago. It took 5 months to put together. They've had it in the House for 2 months, and we've been begging them. But they keep wanting to link them, and there's no such thing as linking 2 pieces of legislation or holding one hostage over the other. They should go up and down on their own merits. They should be worked on their own merits.
Well, to that point, economy was really a major issue in this election, the top issue. So does passage of infrastructure and reconciliation, those 2 bills, help or hurt that message?
Well, if you don't take in consideration what people are going through at the gas pumps and at the grocery stores, the inflation that's coming, at first we thought it was transitory. If you recall, Brett, about a month or more ago, I said, let's take a strategic pause. Let's see where we are. We don't know about COVID. The variants of COVID kept going up and down. We weren't sure what it's going to have effect on our economy. They kept saying, well, this inflationary thing is basically going to be maybe transitory, and we're finding out it's not. And then we have a geopolitical fallout from Afghanistan that we're going to have to deal with sooner or later somewhere in the world. And I said, the need that we have right now of all the aspirational things in the reconciliation bill, most of that is covered in the ARP bill with the American Rescue Plan that we voted in January.
1.9 trillion.
We have people covered clear up through 2022 and beyond. So it wasn't like an urgent, and I don't know why we're acting like it's so urgent.
So does this result last night embolden you to make sure that the Build Back Better or the reconciliation bill does no harm to the economy?
Oh, absolutely. I'm concerned about that. Oh, absolutely. I'm concerned. I've been talking about our debt. I've been talking about inflation. I've been talking about the fallout we may have and all these things. And, you know, maybe they've listened and maybe they haven't. We'll see. We'll see if they double down.
All right, so on the gas prices at the pump, who's to blame? President Biden says OPEC is to blame. Others say climate policies have changed the dynamic. What do you say?
Well, I say that we can basically do more for ourselves. We've been energy independent for the first time in 67 years. Why can't we do more? Why can't we produce more? We've got plenty of natural gas. My state, beautiful state of West Virginia, has an ocean of natural gas under it. If they just let us build a pipeline, we could get the product to market. And why don't we do more drilling, and why don't we do more basically production in the United States? I'm not depending on OPEC. I'm not depending on other countries for my energy anymore. We know how to do it. We have the technology. We should be relying on ourselves.
So is the president wrong in that?
I have a difference of opinion.
So yes. I want to talk about process because the House is moving forward with both of these bills. And we've got reporting from Chad Pergram, a group of 5 moderate Democrats insisting that the Build Back Better bill, get a full CBO, Congressional Budget Office score before it goes to the floor, potentially as early as tomorrow. As a result, Democratic leaders are trying to force the issue, pressure these moderate Democrats to vote yes. Moderate Democrats, we're told, are irate that they are having to fillet 2,135 pages of new legislation on the fly. Quote, we resent it, said one moderate Democratic source. This is only strengthening our resolve. What do you say to those moderates
I would say
in the
to
House?
all of my House friends on both the Democrat and Republican side, but speaking to my Democrat sides, there has to build some goodwill. Let them vote on the infrastructure bill. Take the time to work the reconciliation bill the way it needs to be worked, the CBO scoring, talking more about the effects it has all through our economy and all through people's lives. That's something reasonable to ask. I understand that. And I'm not going to tell anyone how they should run their end of this Congress of ours. And Nancy Pelosi is very capable. I know her. I get along fine with her. We just, you know, maybe come from 2 different parts of the country and 2 different philosophical beliefs.
In that bill that's going to be filed either tonight or tomorrow, there are taxes. There's language to raise taxes on individuals below the $400,000 threshold. And one of them is on nicotine. Have you changed your position on regressive taxes or anything below that $400,000?
Well, I never thought the 400,000 barrier should have been there to begin. Okay, if you're going to do tax reform, do tax reform. The last time we had a balanced budget with surpluses was when everybody paid a little bit of something, making sure that the richest of the richest and all of those are in between. But with that, where we are right now, a tax on nicotine, that doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever.
Is that a non-starter for you?
Well, there's so many things in there. I guess you
have a lot of non-starters?
I have a lot of concerns, let's put it that way. But I'm not going to, they're working off the House bill. That's not going to be the bill I work off of.
So if somebody's sitting at home on the couch and they're listening to this, and we explain the process, but sometimes you need a whiteboard because there's a lot of stuff happening over here. When would this process move forward, in your mind?
This process, if they're going to vote on it tomorrow, then it'll go through the scrub of next week. Then it'll be a week before it comes to us, as I understand. So if that comes over and they start working off of that, and then we have a reconciliation program with a vote-a-rama that basically has a bird rule, and these are all pretty technical things, but it basically sees as it fits if it doesn't fit. Once we get a ruling from the parliamentarian, forget about this. People might be all excited about something now or say, that's a non-starter. It might not even fit in the bill because on our side it doesn't fit. It doesn't come within the rules of reconciliation. So wait until that's done, see what you have before you, and then we start voting.
So, for example, Speaker Pelosi wants to put paid leave policies on small businesses in a partisan package.
I'm more concerned about unpaid leave because if you put that paid leave in, it's not being paid for. I'm all for paid leave, and I believe that people should have
But
the
you
ability.
think it should be done separately?
Separately, completely separately, because we can do this in a bipartisan way. Brett, anything that we do in a bipartisan way is lasting. It stays. And this is something where both the employer and employees can participate, people can build up their credits and use their time as they desire.
What about anything that deals with immigration, legal status? Now, I understand you're talking about what the parliamentarians are going to rule,
Sure.
but Senator Menendez said, listen, we're going to take no doesn't work for us. We're going to plow forward on this thing.
Well, I'm not going to vote to overrule the parliamentarian. I've always said they call that the bird rule.
Yeah.
And that's when you go outside the
Robert Byrd from West Virginia.
the seat I sit in right now. And I'm not going to do that. They all know that. If the parliamentarian rules on something, if the people that have been here working are allowed to continue to work and help our economy and help their family, but help all of us, we all benefit from it. I'm not for basically
But let's
giving
just take the
benefit.
parliamentarian out of it and
Okay.
say, do you support some kind of amnesty without border security
No.
in the reconciliation bill?
For us to even be talking about immigration without border security is ludicrous. I've told him, I said, the average person turns on the TV and sees what's going on in the border. And that basically scares the bejesus out of an awful lot of people. If they think they can come and get all the different benefits that the citizens of America can get, are entitled to, they're going to continue to come. So no, I don't think so. Border security in 2013, the bill that we did, we tried to have a pathway to citizenship. We take care of our dreamers, which I have a lot of compassion for. And I would love to do something for people that came, even if they came wrong. Pay your fine, get in line. 10 years back, you won't be jumping line. But nobody becomes a citizen until the border is declared secure.
So that's not happening in this
I know
bill.
it's not, and that's what's up.
No, that's what you're saying.
That was the Republican and Democrats in 2013, Brett, that passed what I thought the best piece of legislation that we couldn't get a vote on it in the House.
Two more questions.
Sure.
One is you've had people out to your houseboat. You've had people following you around. You've had progressives,
Yeah.
protesting you. Cory Bush says Joe Manchin's opposition to Build Back Better Act is anti-black, anti-child, anti-woman, anti-immigrant. When we talk about transformative change, we are talking about a bill that will benefit black, brown, and indigenous communities. Your response to Congresswoman?
I would just say the Congresswoman doesn't know me. She doesn't know me. And happy to talk to her. I think maybe she'll have a different opinion. Go home to West Virginia and ask people. I think you'll get a different opinion. This is a shame when we start this war of words. I'm not going to speak ill about any of my congressional friends and colleagues on the House side or the Senate side. We can have a difference of opinion. The rhetoric around here has gotten so harsh and so toxic that you can't agree to disagree anymore. You can't sit down and say, okay, I disagree with you, Brett. And you're going to say, okay, Joe, do we agree on the same problem? I said, yeah, let's start working. Tell me what you think you would fix it. That's not happening.
So
And
progressives...
let me tell you what I don't hear,
Yeah.
what scares the bejesus out of me. I don't hear people saying, this is good for our country. It's more or less on both sides. This is better for my party. This is better for the 2022 election.
So let me end where I started,
Sure.
last night's election.
Okay.
The Congressional Progressive Caucus in the House now stands at 95 members. Looking at last night and the results of it, what's the over-under for 2022?
Well,
are there more or fewer?
The progressives, and I spoke to some of them, and they're nice people, good people. They're aspirational. I don't believe philosophically with them at all, but they don't have any chance of getting defeated where they come from. The thing they're doing is basically changing the dynamics of the moderates that it takes for them to be in a majority, taking it down way low.
I've asked you this 7 times, but has your party left you?
I'm a West Virginia Democrat, Brett. I don't know. I don't know where. Maybe I belong at times, but I believe I'm a fiscally responsible and socially compassionate. And you know what? I have a lot of Democrats that feel the same as I do. I have a lot of Republicans feel the same as I do.
What are your thoughts on Joe Manchin, where he stands, what he's talking about? Do you agree with him, disagree? I was talking about the toxic language in the political world now. Do you agree to disagree? Let me know your thoughts on Joe Manchin down in the comments below. And that is all the stimulus news I have for you today to hopefully brighten your day a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Bella. This is the tip of the day. I want to tell you something what you should always do. So when you want to do something, do it. Like if you want to go out in outer space, do it. If you want to say something, do it. Say whatever you want and do whatever you want. And make it excitement. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate all of your support. Feeling much better. I mentioned earlier that my fire alarms were going off last night. I've been up since 3 in the morning, so it's been kind of a hazy day, but I just want to let you know I'm still here to give you the news, give you the updates. So thank you for watching. Thanks for all your encouraging comments as well. So if you want to check out any of my other videos, you can click up here or down here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.